Did you know that Chattanooga, Tennessee is right on the border and right next to Georgia? A lot of times when people move to the area, they come across North Georgia and they always ask the question, is it worth it for us to start looking into Georgia? And in today's video, we're going to discuss all the different things that you should consider if you're okay with moving into Georgia or if you'd rather stay in the Tennessee side. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And before we get to today's video, I love making these videos and giving you as much information as possible. But if you're looking to move to the area, you've had your eye on Chattanooga or Tennessee and you're considering moving here, feel free to reach out to me on the number on your screen. Shoot me a text, give me a call. Let's get on a phone call or on a Zoom call or meet up in person when you're in town so that I can help guide you to different areas to help you find the best area for you and your family to see if Chattanooga is the right place for you. We have helped so many people move to the area and I would love to add you to the list. So reach out to me. I would love to help you. So let's get started with today's video. So the first thing we're going to discuss today is the housing costs and the differences between the housing costs in Tennessee and the housing costs right over the border into Georgia. So if you didn't know, Chattanooga is located in Hamilton County, and in Hamilton County, the median price point is $380,000. The next county over in Bradley, I'm just going to mention these two, is $325,000. We're going to compare these two counties to what you can find right over into Georgia. So the first county I'm going to discuss is Chattanooga County, and that is $293,000. Now something I will mention, Chattanooga is pretty big, and the main city there is Ringgold, and in Ringgold city limit, it's actually $324,000. So it's a little bit of difference there, but overall those are the median price points in those areas. And then we have Walker County, which is $235,000. We have Dade County, which is $354,000, which that county has been growing and the prices have been increasing like crazy. And lastly, we have Whitfield County, which you can expect $277,000. So as you can see from all the places on your screen, most of the counties in Georgia are relatively speaking below the median price point that you can find in Tennessee, except for Dade County. But for the most part, they are more inexpensive compared to the Tennessee area. So if you're looking for a cheaper housing option, Georgia definitely has that for you. So the next thing, getting past the housing cost, is the property cost. Now here is where the difference lies as well, is that yes, the houses are a little bit cheaper in the Georgia side, but what you'll typically find is the property taxes are a little bit higher than what you will find in Tennessee. And I just went on the MLS. I got two houses that were sold, relatively speaking, in the same year, I believe in 2022. They are around the same price of around $420 to $450, but the property taxes are different, and you know, one is in Tennessee and one is in Georgia. I'll put right here on this side the screenshot of the house I found in Tennessee, and right here the screenshot of the house in Ringgold. They're really close to one another. So as you can see, one is $460,000, which is actually on the Tennessee side, and the other one is low 400s, which is in the Georgia side. So you would think that the lower price point house has lower property taxes. So let's go ahead and check out what these property taxes actually are. So as you can see from the property taxes from the Hamilton County or the Tennessee side, it's about $2,300. The property taxes in the Georgia side are actually $3,200, even though the house is cheaper. And this is typically not always what you can find. Of course, it depends on the county, depends on the area, depends on so many different factors, but more often than not, what you'll find is that property taxes are a little bit more expensive in the Georgia side. So that's something that you need to take into account. We have helped many different clients that looked at, relatively speaking, the same type of house. The houses were, let's say, $450 here on the Tennessee side, and then right over into the Ringgold or the Georgia side, the houses were $350 or $400. And then when we compare the prices, when you have the mortgage plus the property taxes, it actually comes out to about the same monthly cost. So yes, the houses are a little bit cheaper in Georgia, but the property taxes you'll find are a little bit more expensive. Now, the next thing that we're going to discuss that might make a big difference for you, or one of the things that typically makes people not choose Georgia, and that is the state income tax. So in Georgia, you have a state income tax of 5.39%. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but in Tennessee, you have zero state income tax. So if we're just using round numbers, if you make $100,000, yes, very simplified, but you'll pay $5,390 in income tax in Georgia as opposed to zero when it comes to Tennessee. And this is a big issue for the people that don't want to live in Georgia, is because of this one thing: state income tax tax and something you need to take into account. Now, you have a lot of people that live in Tennessee but work in Georgia, and working in Georgia, you're gonna have to pay the Georgia state income tax, so it might not matter where exactly you live. But if you're gonna live in Tennessee and you're gonna work in Tennessee, then you'd obviously not have to pay the Georgia state income tax, and it might be more beneficial to you. But if you don't care and you really want more of the cheaper housing and you're not worried about the higher property taxes, then Georgia might be a great option for you. But knowing about the state income tax is a very important part whether we should look into Georgia or not. Now, one of the positives as far as taxes goes is that Georgia has a lower sales tax depending on the county, but most of the counties on the northwest part of Georgia has a 7% sales tax, whereas Hamilton County has 9.25% sales tax. Tennessee as a whole has 7%, then our county has 2.25% added on there, so for a total of 9.25%. So you are saving a little bit less when it comes to sales tax in Georgia just by living there. Something that I will mention, if you live in the Hamilton County or the Tennessee side, the Costco in the area is actually in Georgia, so you can easily just drive over the border depending on how close you live, go to Costco, get that 7% sales tax, and then just come back home. So that is one way around it. So if you're gonna buy a car or a lawnmower or big expensive items, living in Georgia is gonna save you just a little bit as far as the sales tax, and something you need to take into account. Now, one of the other main differences that you will find in Georgia versus Tennessee is that the main city in the area is Chattanooga. Now, compared to Atlanta, 2.5 hours, 2 hours south, or Nashville, it is very much a medium-sized city. So I don't say Chattanooga is a big city, meaning it's like a huge city, but compared to the area, the main city here is Chattanooga. Now in Georgia, you do have, you have Dalton, you have Calhoun, you have Rome, Georgia, which is, a little bit further down south, but still considered Northwest Georgia. So if you're okay with living in a smaller type city, definitely check out Northwest Georgia, because there are a lot of nice cities in the area. Even though it's small, it's still going to give you everything you need as far as dining. There's restaurants, there's shopping, Target, and places like that. But if you need a lot bigger of a city or a lot bigger feel of a city, Chattanooga might be the better option for you. So something to always take into account is the smaller cities that you will have around you in the Northwest Georgia type of area. Now with the smaller cities, something else that you need to take into account is airports. The main airport in the area is Chattanooga. Now, depending on where exactly you live on the Georgia side, you may actually get closer to the Atlanta airport, right? So if you live in Calhoun, which is probably an hour south of Chattanooga, it's better to drive an hour and a half to Atlanta airport than an hour to the Chattanooga airport, because typically it's probably more inexpensive, but you have the flip side that it is a bigger airport, so it's going to take a lot longer for security and get through that process, whereas the Chattanooga airport, it's a breeze. You park 15 minutes later, you're in your gate. So if you travel a lot for work, depending where you live, it might be a big negative or a big positive for you. But the main airport in the area is Chattanooga, so you are going to have travel and drive to the Chattanooga airport. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the school grades. Now, I made a whole other video that you can check, and I'll link everything in the description below on the area school grades. Chattanooga is the main city, obviously, but there's so many counties around us that niche.com has come up with a school grade or a school ranking of all the different school districts in the area. And out of the top 5, 3 out of the top 5 are actually in Georgia. So number 2 was Catoosa County, where Ringgold is located. Number 3 was Dalton Public Schools, and number 5 was Whitfield County, which the main city there is Dalton. So you have Dalton City, and then you have the county schools. So 3 out of the 5 top school districts are actually in Georgia, which is a huge positive, because a lot of the times people move to the Georgia side just to get the better public education. And if that's important for you and the taxes and all that other stuff don't matter to you, then great. Georgia would definitely be somewhere you need to check out. So check out the video in the link below, or just search 2025 niche.com Chattanooga area schools, and you'll find the whole list, and you can check out all the breakdown and how they come up with their scores. So school systems, 3 out of the top 5 are actually in Georgia. Now, one of the things I want to touch on is the nature. So Chattanooga is known as the scenic city, and it's absolutely beautiful, but Northwest Georgia is also absolutely beautiful as well. Obviously, you have the Blue Ridge Mountains, which a lot of people know about, which, you know, you have the city of LJ, which is located in the Chattahoochee National Forest, but you also have the Cohutta Wilderness. You have a Lookout Mountain. So in Chattanooga, Lookout Mountain kind of just has maybe 10% of Lookout Mountain into Chattanooga, and that's a whole historical thing with the Civil War that they use as a lookout, you know, for all the battles that they had in the area. But most, probably 90 to 95% of the mountain is actually in the Georgia side, somewhere that if you're coming to the area and you just want a national park or a really nice park to go hike and visit, you should definitely check out Cloudland Canyon, which is in Trenton, Georgia, right over the border into Georgia. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll put a video up here where you can see where me and my family went. You can just go and see the canyon. It's just beautiful, especially if you come in the fall time. It's absolutely beautiful. Definitely somewhere you should visit if you're looking to go hiking when you come to the area. So as far as nature goes, yes, Chattanooga is surrounded by beautiful nature. Tennessee has a bunch of parks all over the place, but Northwest Georgia also has that. There's trails. There's so much stuff to do as far as nature goes as well. So if we're comparing the two, I would say they're pretty comparable, especially Northwest Georgia. Not all of Georgia, but Northwest Georgia definitely has beautiful mountains that you can also find there, just like you would in Chattanooga and in Tennessee. So I would say it's mostly a wash. But if you're looking for specific things, you're gonna have to do your own research. So the nature is beautiful, and living in Georgia, you're definitely gonna get that. So that's today's video, guys. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. A lot of times when people realize that Chattanooga is right next to the Georgia border, obviously everybody has questions. You know, should we move there? Why are the houses cheaper there? How are the taxes? How's nature? How are all these things that people should consider? And I hope I was able to answer those questions for you. So if Georgia is an option for you, or you want to stay in the Tennessee side, just reach out to us, guys. We would love to help you move to the area. We have helped so many people, and we love that part of our job, helping people come to the area and be part of the community. So if that's you guys, reach out to us. We would love to chat with you. Until next time, take care and God bless.